Alright, I'm just gonna jump right into it. Let me make sure. I usually just wait about 5 minutes before I start, but I'm like, why not? Well, I'm going to start now. Ooh, jeez. Alright. Alright. Make sure everything looks good. Make sure I'm still centered. Alright. Nothing too special for this run. Just more, just discussions. More discussions that nobody wants to talk about than they were the Elden Ring. Is there a problem? What's this? YouTube not receiving enough video? What's going on here? Is it glitching out? I don't know why stream status is poor. Maybe it'll clear up. I did touch that fire, right? Yeah, I did. Seems to be running just fine on gameplay wise. It's so strange to me how you have to walk all this way for Torrent. I'm just wondering why they just don't. I wonder why that area, why the gate front. I think you can also get it somewhere else. Oh, look at that. But this is why. I mean, still, it doesn't take that long. It just feels like it takes. It feels like it takes 5 minutes, but it doesn't.
You, I can put turning wood to aid you. You need O to the foot. Then it summon me. Ah, I bequeath. It will summon a torrent to treat him with.
I wonder if they ever design these games to consider people that just want to skip things, and for the most part, they do pretty good about that. But there are some things that really slow down. Like, really, why did they gotta make us do this every single time? And I can't complain because a lot of other games are much, much worse. It's just not even almost. It's almost uncomparable because you got games like God of War Ragnarok, well, the new modern day God of War games where they just slow it down. I mean, don't forget about Ironwood. What kind of a mess that was. I had a list on things to pick up for a playthrough, but I have completely lost it. And I think it's going to end up being 30 things. This is one of those 30 things, just getting the Ash of War. I'm also reducing side of graces again. There's one side of grace that I can't do anything about, and that's the one over there. I like this. I want this side of grace because I don't have to trot. I don't have to trot all the way back. Actually, yeah, I'll go ahead and take care of this. Go ahead and get the medallion. I need to get the small shield. Actually, no, I'll do pair. Oh, no. I want to do a whole playthrough with that funny looking shield in that cave. Because I've been thinking about that shield, that thing a lot. The wood cuff. I think I need two stone keys, but I know I can get two of those. I don't know if I just want to go the old hammer, the great hammer route. I'll just grab the charged talisman just in case. I haven't done one weapon in a while, just one handing a weapon. I probably just need to focus on that because I do dual wield great hammers all the time. I need to pick a weapon. I just haven't done, but ooh. What's strange to me is how Smithing Stone 2 is more complicated to collect than Smithing Stones 1, 3, and 4. I don't. I wonder why Smithing Stone 2 is so spread out. Now I like this side of grace. Oh, whoops. I. That's for Moog. Sorry. Whenever I want to come back from Moog. And I don't think I've defeated Moog with one handing a weapon. So yeah, let me do that. I just need to figure out. Maybe I can get I haven't played with an axe in a while. Let me pick one of those axes. I don't want something as colossal like the Golem's halberd, but I would like to use an axe. Maybe Godric's axe. Maybe I can see if that'll work. Because the dual wield great hammers, as much fun as those are, they get way too overpowered. Just comically overpowered. I'm like, well, if I can get it this crazy high, let me just go with two hand and just cut it in half. Because I'm getting rather unsatisfied with that now. I think Godric's axe doesn't scale well from what I understand. I'd never use boss weapons because they're usually just not that great to me. Go ahead and look up Godric's axe. I want to see if the incredible vulnerability of the axe of Godric. Strength 34 required. Not 22 dex. I must use somber smithing stones. No. C, yeah, it's C. Is only C scaling. And I need summer smithing stones, which isn't a big deal. I mean, two-handed attacks. You're thinking about jumping. It's jumping. The jumping attack is actually 726, and I'm not doing any kind of stat capping. I guess I can always just try it. Is that a colossal weapon? No, it's just a great axe. And I can get 4 smithing stones at the beginning with that giant dude. I can get the 5th one from... I don't think I get it from that area anymore. That's another thing. I haven't done that in a while. 6... No, 5 is from the Shaded Castle. 6 is from that cave. And then, of course, 7 is where you have to go to Volcanic Manor and defeat Godskin Noble, which I haven't. That's another thing I haven't done in a while. And of course, 8 and 9 is in Caelid, and then that last one is where Moog is. Really, the most. I guess isn't too problematic, but I can at least try it. Why not? A command cannot be enchanted, or I don't know. I'll still go for it because I don't usually go for boss weapons, so I might as well just. If I don't like it, I could always just switch something else. But I definitely need a lot of strength and dexterity. 34. Well, I need to at least get dexterity to 22. Let's see. I need to have at least 34 divided by 1.5. I need at least 23 strength, and I'm already almost there. Yeah. Alright, and so I gotta grab the charge talisman. Crag's Blade is great. I'm gonna miss it if if everything works out, but if it's doing 726, that's pretty good. That's pretty good. Ah, come on. Sometimes I like Torrent, sometimes I don't. And I definitely still want that cuff. Ooh. Ooh, that reach. Oh my goodness. We're just beautifully missing each other. I'm not using that. I just like fighting that guy. I forgot what was over here. Oh, that's why I forgot. I don't even know what that's for. Crafting, I guess. Ah, heck, you know what? I was falling into habits. I used that so I can buy that shield, but I'm not buying that shield this time. I'm going to the Gale Cave. So minus the jump attack talisman. Well, no, I might still get that because I still use jump attacks, but it just won't be as much. I mean, I could always use. I might just get the. I don't know. That might not be very useful. But I'll definitely get the charge talisman. And of course, we can get the wondrous physique. No weapon is, as far as I know, no weapon is compromised by using wondrous physique. And one of my favorite bonfires is this. Oh heck, I don't even know. Let me try to memorize the name of this church. I don't remember that many bears being around here. Definitely get a good start on. I don't know. It might be a little while before I can do that. Oh yeah, I also need to go over there and grab that as well. Wait, did I allocate? No, I have not. Go ahead and grab this. I don't know if I'll end up using this later on. In fact, no, I'm not gonna bother with it. It's just I don't think it really matters that much. Now the fun thing is that Margit actually drops enough just for you to collect 4 somber smithing stones. Yeah, that's right. I'm going to the Gale Cave. Oh, well, actually, I don't have enough. I don't have enough stone keys. Slow down a little bit. Actually, well, it's kind of redundant to still light this one, but I do it anyway. Oh, yeah, might as well. That stated marker there. Speaking of redundancy, why is that stated marker there? Does anyone ever use that? Maybe a few people that have actually died there, but that's just so. I just noticed that I'm like, even have it up to this point. Okay, now it cuts off. They got a. I don't. I really do think the checkpoint system is a bit excessive in this. Maybe that's a good debate discussion. Oh come on! How are you? How are your attacks faster than mine? Oh, he drops a dagger. I didn't know that. Alright, get them to disappear. And also another question is why do the enemies disappear when you go past that gate? You don't see that when you go to Godric's. When you go through Godric's, when you enter his arena, the enemies don't disappear. They just stay there. But also, well, yeah, also his gate is up as well. I don't know. It's just weird. I'm just wondering. I guess they wanted to do this for the element of surprise. Alright, so I got 2 stone keys, so let's go back and grab that shield real quick. I like the parrying dagger, but that one shield is just so cool to me, and it's the one. The biggest thing about it is that it's so out of the way. Getting the just grabbing a regular small shield from a starting class, or on my way to grab the medallion and purchase it from the merchant. Those are the two fastest options just for a small shield. But this one, I had to really get into something special to go grab it. I don't even remember where it's at. I need to memorize exactly where it's at in this cave, because this is the one. This is the cave that has the duelist grave, one of the grave warden duelist variants, and also contains jail cells that you have to pull a lever to unlock. And I believe it's in one of those jail cells. Now I think I can use the dagger actually for parrying, but I just want the special shield. Is it a yeah? I guess it's technically a shield. I might as well grab these. Oh. Wait, I could have swore there it is. Yeah. Whenever I'm doing rune level 2 runs, this is also a very beneficial spot because of that castle over there. That contains the Radon talisman that gives you +5. So that way I can... The reason why is because I can dual wield great hammers. I don't think I'll be too... Well, I mean, that's not... I don't have to kill anything. That's just the thing. Oh yeah, here's the Summer Smithing Stone. Which one is this? 4. Okay. Well, I can save some money. I can save some ruins. I can save currency. Oh yeah, that's an iframe trap. I totally forgot about that iframe trap. I wonder, that's got to be on purpose. It's got to be. I need to memorize this cave a lot more so I can just speed run it properly. Because still at this point, I don't even know why I grabbed that. I might need it. Because I want to get into using the Great Ruins more often. Just haven't really found a good excuse for it. Yeah, see, I'm too weak to one shot of freaking mouse rat. If anyone knows the reference to that. Uh, Dang, I wish I knew where it was exactly. It's just one of those things that you run and grab and just move on. Now I know where I need to pull the lever. Thankfully. Whew, that's a big rat. Oh, great. Yep, here we are. Oh, here's Smithing Stone 5. That cuts out some time. Ooh, man. Got me through clipping. Now where's that lever at? It's over here somewhere. Oh, there's a state of America. That's actually an appropriate state of America. This is such a great cave. I love this place. This may be my only third or fourth time here, and I hate that I need to add it to my summer smithing stone routes because this is definitely a great place. You know, I can get my little shield. Oh, there it is. Oh, I almost missed it. You gotta love that level of just trolling in the design here, where you just simply walk right off the edge. Okay, now I'm gonna have to. It's kind of chaos right now, so is this it? Nope. Ouch. Man, these guys are crazy. I think this is taking me to the boss fight. Whoops. Yep. Let's see how much damage I'm actually doing to this guy. Not too bad. Make sure I'm positioned back here. Okay. Gotta make this as memorable as possible. What about this place? Nope, that's not it. No, nothing in here. Nope. Ooh. Oh, great ruins in here. Great ruin drops here, actually. This might be it. Yep, this is it. Pillory shield. All right, how do I memorize? How do I memorize this? It is the cell next to the door that I have to open from the other side. Alright, can someone knock me out? There we go. It's such a funny cave. It's such a so many funny things can go on in there. I shall apply it. And now I got a really unique shield. Now you see, I can't parry it. I can't use it to parry. And it also gives me a little bit of Death Blight build up. Oh really? Is that heavy? My goodness, okay. I definitely need to level up endurance if I'm going to use that axe. I mean, medium load is not bad. It's just I really prefer light, much preferred. All right, let's go ahead and get the other medallion. Why not? I'm not too much of a rush. So I don't have to go to Shaded Castle now. Let me make sure that I'm right about that. Okay, so I can at least get it up to 5, and then I can go fight the Falling Star Beast in the Cilia Crystal Tunnel. Well, there is one that can be found on a course surrounded by several basilisks in a dark room. Proceed to second level. Usually come across a soul doctor. Proceed past this enemy on the left-hand side of the large. You'll see a dark doorway on your left. Inside this room is the smith found. Okay, well that's actually on the way to get 7. So I'll just do it that. I'll just do it that way. And this way I'll have the Kaled lineup activated. Oh. Yeah, I want this Site of Grace activated. This will be good for restarts on that dude right there. So I'll be able to save ruins on Summer Spinson 4 and 5, and of course 6 and 7. Well, I mean, really the only ones I have to buy is 1, 2, and 3, because the other ones can be picked up. I mean, the other ones can be picked up too, but I'd rather not. I mean, if I can find them on the way, then that'd be great. And that dude drops a crystal tier that I love. Not gonna do it right now though. Yeah, I'm gonna need that side of grace. I skipped it before on accident and really hated that I did that. And the Radagon Sword Seal is not going to benefit me because I'm not doing a low level run. So I'm just not going to bother grabbing it this time. Because it's just wasting a talisman slot when you're, because I'm gonna get this character up to 150. Just because I need to dummy build the Shadow of the Erdtree DLC again. Because I'm really bad at Mesmer still. And it's funny how I can be more familiar with Consort Radon than Mesmer. That's just so strange. Mesmer just is a nightmare for me. A bunch of thrusting attacks, a bunch of visual impairment. I just can't stand it when I can't see anything. So I'm hoping one day, I'm hoping every time I go back, I get a little bit better. But it seems like I'm always having the same results with the Mesmer.
Are you here? Does your despite takes me any intro line? Now's the time. Well,
I'll go ahead and get Elmer the Briar.
To determine if you
No, I don't want to go to the round table right now.
but I can take gathering.
Oh heck, I didn't mean to get back up.
here to learn. There's a memento fine. That's how it grants. Well.
Elmer of the Briar. I need to find an excuse to fight them on every playthrough. I mean, regardless, they drop, ruin, so. No, whoops. Ah. God, I love this fight so much. This is my favorite boss of the fair. Well, what does he drop again? Okay, yeah, not bad. Oh, that's such a fun fight. Yeah, every time I do that fight, almost perfectly like that, I just want to share it across the world. Like, look how beautiful this is. Dang, now I miss him. I'm so glad he pops up several times per playthrough. Might as well go ahead and start getting some of these stats up so I can use Godric's axe when the time comes. So definitely need to get dexterity up. Now, one thing I can also do is I can stat boost through Wondrous Physique, but I really feel like I don't have to do that. I should be good enough by the time I get to Godric, because Godric drops 20,000 ruins, which would be a good boost. So I think we can go ahead and just take on Margit. What does my AP look like? 150. I mean, that's not bad. The bad thing about Margit is that I want to perfect it. I'm going to try my best not to worry about perfecting the fight, because it's just so much fun to perfect. I was fighting him for a couple hours last night, actually. Ah, ran out of stamina. Ooh, there we go. I keep forgetting that he doesn't stagger during those moments. Ah, see, that attack is hard for me to parry. Okay, see, it was so hard for me not to quit or dive off the side because I did get hit, obviously, but I'm not gonna worry about that right now. I can always restart the game and just do it over and over and over again.
Smoldering with thy meat cower in fear of the night. The hands of the fell omen shall brook thee no quarter.
And now I just put that on my back for the, because I can't parry Godric, can't parry Radon, can't parry, well, I can parry Draconic Tree Sentinel, but I just don't. Can't parry Golden Shade Godfrey. Then I can finally parry again with Margot. So the shield's just going to be on the back of be on my back for a while. So let's go. Well, actually, yeah, that's true. I can't do anything right now. It's kind of no point right now. Just 2 more. Okay, I'll be right back. See, that didn't take long. Alright, we'll go ahead and move on to Godric.
You there? Come over here, would you?
But I wanted to do a dummy build again, just so, I want to fight Melania again. But it's funny, I just got finished doing a rune level 55 with Melania. One of my goals is to get her at rune level 2. But I just really wanted to do a 150 run. Because rune level 2's the funny thing is that rune level 2 runs are very, very generous. Extremely generous. You can feel like you are at 150 at rune level 2. And so when you kind of get to 150, it feels rather redundant. But also, actually, my main goal is just to... I never go to the New Game Plus. So I want to do that with rune level 50. Because whenever I get to the end of a game and I have all the bosses defeated, I feel like I'm throwing my trophies away going to start a new game. Ooh, thrust. There we are. Camera messes me up. I shouldn't target lock anyway, but... I wonder what happened to the enemies ganging up on me. Maybe I did something wrong. I think just falling maybe caused that. I really want to grab the jumping talisman. I just don't... no, I will not. I will not. Because I feel like that will motivate me to want to dual wield, and I don't want to dual wield this playthrough. Alright, Irish Nightlight. Come back again when you can stay longer. Oop. So much chaos out there. Oh yeah, appreciate that. I want to make more. I want to make more black and white stuff. I want to go back to the older games and make more black and white stuff. The Nameless King one is still I think my favorite, but I don't know. It seems like every single one becomes my favorite with the new ways I present the black and white format. It's just I love the whole Negan score during her cutscenes, and it's like oh, it's so beautiful the way it turned out. Because that was the original plan, but I couldn't just have the Phoenix theme playing all the way through it. It just didn't sit right, but it ended up coming out amazing, in my opinion. I'm glad to see that you enjoyed it. I asked the Dark Souls 3 community which boss they wanted, for black and white. They said the dancer, so I'm going to aim for that one. I just need to get back into Dark Souls 3 eventually. So more than likely, my next black and white will be the dancer. I don't know which one I want to do for Elden Ring next. I thought about Morgoth, thought about Radon. Oh yes, definitely. I will definitely keep it up because it is a very fun project. I have everything. Everything's fast in terms of black and white and the aspect ratio. All I gotta do is copy and paste the effects onto the footage, and then the only thing I have to really work on is applying the music, and of course, obviously editing properly. But because the Millennia ending scene where the camera pans down at the blue blossom, whatever it's called, that was kind of a last minute decision, and I love that's actually my favorite part, really, because it's so cinematic. I kind of wish it was actually in Elden Ring, but it's not. But anyway, yes, definitely appreciate the appreciation because those are really fun to make, and that's the if I can find something that's fun to make and people enjoy, that's that's a that's a thrill to me. Godric probably wouldn't be a bad one to do in black and white. Oh heck. Oh, what is up with me? All right, have a great day, man. Oh no, I missed it. Whew. Oh, my recovery time sucked.
I am the Lord of all that is golden, and one day
I'm gonna drink some water.
return together to our home.
I gotta wait till 1 to 1:30 to eat because oh yeah, that's right. Today's Mother's Day. I got a gift though, so I'm good. I just need to get a card tomorrow. Alright, let's go ahead and buy. Go ahead. I can't remember if it costs. Oh yeah, I need to go to the round table. Hold on. I need to oil this chair.
Aren't you tired? Let's great anchor until it will trudge across the far but the so brave seek to become let go. Where all say is and I will defend. Now go.
Okay, that ain't cost anything. And of course, I can't use his ruin now. Nice. It's a lot smaller than I thought it was going to be, which is fine. So now I just need to grab a little bit of more ruins. Like I said, what was it? Ah. 34. Yeah, I need 23. I need 23 to hit it. And that'll be fine for a while, because I don't have to parry again for a while. If I remove that, will I become light again? Okay, just gotta be naked. And I can also just grab that strength tier. That'll serve me. That shall serve me. No, that's not it. There we go. Maybe grab a couple of Elmer the Bell-bearing Hunters. Got, I think one is where the Pope turtle is, maybe? I know there's one right before the Draconic Tree Sentinel, one at a church in Learning of the Lakes, and of course you got the one in Caelid. I'll get him last, and then the Shaded Castle one, which doesn't take long to get to. Is that it? Really? That might be it. Unless I'm just like forgetting that one. I wish there was more. There should have been one in Mountaintops of the Giants. I wish there was more I wish there was at least one Melania variant of the first phase. I think that would have been great. That would have taught. That could have been a way to teach players how to handle waterfowl dance. I think if they had maybe a reduced version of it. Definitely would like to go into the DLC and get the two-handed talisman. That will give me an excuse to go into the DLC. I mean, I'm going there anyway, but... Alright, on our way to Learning of the Lakes. Need to grab Summer's Mystic Stones 1, 2, and 3, and then we're good for 4 and 5. And all I gotta do is go to Volcanic Manor and get 6 and 7. Then I can wrap up with 8 and 9, and then we can... That way we can just go and get our weapon all the way up before we enter the capital. And then we'll just use scaling, level scaling, to get that weapon to this appropriate spot. What does the Command the Kneel Ash of War do? Does that buff the weapon? It might just be a bunch of wild strikes. It's actually one of my least favorite parts of a playthrough. Is just it's just the trot it takes. The trot. Ah, get out of there. There he is. I was wondering if he was gonna catch me on the stream sometime, but it's because I don't. Hey man, what's up? It's very rare for me to stream like this because my family they're out doing their thing today, and I'm on call, so I can't join them. So this is a rare streaming event that happens once every 7 weeks. uh, oh yes, the family life is a lot more satisfying than any From Software game.
Well, I presume.
No, I'm going to do 150. I'm going to do another dummy build because I want to. I really just want to go through all the new game pluses and see what they're like. Because I never been. I've only been as far as new game plus, and that's only because I just wanted a duplicate weapon, and that's it. But I also just want to do it just so I can just fight bosses over and over again with uh, with a build. Because it's funny because I mentioned earlier that I have that silver lolly build that I could very easily go into New Game Plus with because I just about beat every boss with her, and I want to fight all the bosses again with that build. But I just don't want to. I don't know. Something about losing all that progress that hurts. Even though it's not that big of a deal, I'm like I have so much conquered with this build. I just don't want to restart everything.
I am an old soul here, perhaps you like.
But I want to change things up this time and not use dual wield great hammers because they make things a little bit too simple and it's starting to get boring. So I'm going with a weapon I'm not familiar with and also two handing, which is something I usually don't do. But I would like to do rune. I definitely want to. I still want to aim for Millennia at rune level 2. That's still in the cards. I'm just not going to do it right now. I just want to do something that's not as demanding, but also more combat value exploring. Like when I get to Morgott, I want to make sure I'm not too overpowered, so I can see more of his moveset again. Because lately I've just been overpowering Morgott so much. All right. Ooh, 382. Wow. Okay. All right. Oh yeah, I need to see what a Command D Neo does. Okay, so does that do any buffing? No, it doesn't. Okay, so there is a final one. Do I have to hold for that? No, I have to keep tapping. Yeah, it's just there's a lot of hesitation. I have so many builds that I want to keep that I don't want to get rid of. I have my Gary Bunda build that I really loved. I really need to get back and finish. Yeah, speedrunning is definitely something I want to refine. I want to have a personal record. I'm not aiming for the world record. Obviously, that's just a dangerous territory for me. But I want to aim for a personal record, and it's probably going to be maybe 3 or 4 hours. I'm definitely not going to be in the 2 hour crowd, but 3 to 4 hours is kind of the range I'm going to aim for. I'd like to go back and through all the games and get my own personal record. Just pick my favorite build, just do whatever I want, but also do it in the fastest way possible. That way I can have just what my highest preference in every game. And I did Dark Souls in 1 or 2 hours, and I think that'd be great. Maybe even include the DLC in some of them, but who knows? Alright, so what am I doing now? I guess I'm gonna go to the Volcanic Manor now, because I'm good enough for Godskin Noble. Oh, where am I going? Trying to read and walk at the same time. We'll focus on this real quick. Because next thing I know, I'll be falling down a hole, and then I gotta go through the elevator all over again. Now I don't know if this is consistent or not, but I'm going to test it right now, that the left will let me jump through. Yes, it will. Okay. Because when I try to jump to the right, it blocks me, but the left is consistently allowing me to jump right through. And I can miss the dog. Oh, yeah, okay. I gotta remember, I'm not going to Red Wolf of Radagon, thank God. I don't have to fight that freaking thing. Yeah, Godfrey, just getting a good stance break rhythm on him is definitely key. But you also have to hope that Godfrey does certain things a certain a certain way, and also just having to apply when he does things incorrectly. Does things that will conflict with the stance break rhythm. Ruin level 2 runs are just so much fun. Those low level runs, because it's really entertaining seeing how much damage you can get away with. But the thing I hate about rune level 2 runs is getting with Sir Gideon Ofnir. If it wasn't for that dude, I would do them more often, no problem. I just hate that fight so much. I had to get a whole different weapon. I had to go on my way for a weapon just so I could fight that dude properly. Because I can't do it with with the great hammers. You can forget about that. It's possible, sure, but it's just very problematic. You gotta hope that he lays off the project. Oh, even thinking about that fight just annoys me. Oh yeah, I probably should switch to two-hand whenever that happens. Oh heck. I'm, it's been a few days since I fought the Godskin. There we go, that's better. Oh, I hate it when he does this. Oh yeah, it's crazy. It certainly is. Oh bugger! Oh, what the heck? What the heck? What am I getting hung up on? Oh, I didn't switch to two hands. Dang it. Gotta remember that. Oh, really? Oh, what luck. Got me right between the candle and the pillar. That's just the kind of luck I run into. Oh, come on. What's up with him not getting caught on the pillars? That needs to be a lot stickier. It's so weird how slippery that rep rolling is. It needs to be a lot stickier to objects. Yeah, there's a lot of very questionable designs in terms of stuff like that. It's just, well, why do it feels like that should be able to work properly. I also need to kill him. I need to be killing him a lot faster than that because per sure 3 minutes. Well, no, who knows? Some DLC. Listen. Yeah, that's really my biggest complaint about Shadow of the Erdtree is just the blessings thing. I really think it was rather unnecessary to do that. Just all you had to do was just bump up the health. I mean, people are going to be able to exploit it no matter what you do. So it's just, they didn't really think that one through very well. Oh, come on. I hate that attack so much. I can't do anything. There we go. Ah. Might as well just let it hit me, why not? Jeez, everything kept getting away. Ah, I forgot to switch to two hands again. Our two charges are very unique. Oh, man, you're gonna do it again? See, he sticks pretty well right here. Ah. Oh, really? Come on. Oh! A draw. It sucks when you follow your heart and blood and sweat to a boss fight, and yet no one watched the video because it's too long to be assured, Mr. Bell. Jeez, 8 minutes? Yeah, people don't want to watch anything over 3 minutes. People hardly watch anything over 1 minute. Short intention spans. Alright, so I guess I don't know if that registered or not. It's a mystery. We shall see. Oh, boo. I hope I learn to love Bill over time. I just don't like all the AoEs in the second phase. The first phase fine, but the second phase with all the blasting going on. But who knows? Maybe one day I'll just learn to love it, just like a lot of other fights, like Melania. Melania doesn't have a bunch of ridiculous AoEs though. I mean, she's got, you know, her AoEs I feel are very reasonable, but who knows? Maybe Bell will become the same way with me over time if I just if I give him the time. Oh, okay, it did register. I just didn't. Well, maybe I did get them right here. Yeah, I did. There they are. I had one person comment that they watched my videos specifically because most. Oh, really? Well, I mean, you get the full combat value. I mean, a lot of people really value that. I mean, you know, really. Because if you have fights too short, and it depends on if you're parrying or stance breaking, you don't get a whole lot of combat value on display. But yeah, I mean, people want to see fights that are relatively quick. 3 minutes is really the algorithm preference. Even though 3 minutes is guaranteed to show off everything. Some bosses are pretty good about showing everything within 3 minutes. Like Margit. Margit's, I mean, if you're not parrying Margit, you can see everything probably between 2 to 3 minutes. Godric is one where you had to have a very specific time to see everything. Melania's pretty good about showing everything, but also at the same time, Waterfowl Dance and Flower Soldiers just doesn't show up. Like my rune level 55 kill Melania, she doesn't do Waterfowl Dance, she doesn't do those Flower Soldiers, and I feel like I spent a decent amount of time in the second phase for her to do that, but she just didn't. And so that's the biggest benefit about extending those fights for so long, so you can see every single attack and you can display that you know how to evade those attacks properly. And unfortunately, 3 minutes just doesn't cut it when it comes to fully displaying the combat value. Okay, good. Now I can fully use that. I can use that weapon up, being crystal tier dependent. Thank the Lord. Thank the Lord. Oh no, no, I'm not. I'm not. I'm just saying it bypasses combat value. I mean, that's parrying is great and it's extremely satisfying, but the harsh reality of it is that it does bypass a lot of combat value. That's one reason why I don't parry too much on the Margit fight, because I do want to see most of his fight. Now Margit, I don't mind it so much with Margit because I feel like I get to see most of his combat value anyway. But and also the bell-bearing hunter. Well, the main problem with the bell-bearing hunter is that if you stay close range, you don't see his combat value. So there's also that. Staying close range to bell-bearing hunter will bypass the other half of his combat value. Ooh, ooh. I mean, that's the player's combat value, but not the boss's. The boss is experiencing your your combat value. Oh my goodness. Oh, RIP me. I think really the best way to experience combat value is really just using a dex weapon. Strength weapons, obviously, you have to be concerned about stance breaking, which will bypass combat value. So with the dex weapon, but the thing is about dex weapons, you got to worry about bleed with a lot of them. And so with bleed being sudden, a boss phase might end faster. Like with Star Scourge Radon is bad about that. You can, if you apply frost or bleed to your weapon, and you all of a sudden get a burst of damage, you can easily bypass a phase. And Radon has a lot of mini phases, especially at the end, where a lot of the time I don't even get to see all of his combat value at the end because by the time, because you get so much punish, you can punish him so much right there at the end. So when his that final phase registers, you really don't get a chance to see everything that he does. It's just small little things like that that really affects full combat value. So you got to scale yourself down significantly just so you can see entire fights play out. And I'm wondering what in the world could I do for the bell bearing hunter to flesh him out more. I mean, he needs more get off me attacks. He does have a couple of them, but none of them are significant enough to draw you back. I'm trying to remember where this. I think this is over here. Yeah, the description on where this is really bad. Yep, got it. Because the way they make it sound on Wikipedia is that it's directly after the adductor, but no, you got to go a little ways further than that. Oh yeah, while I'm here, I might as well get my barrel bearing. It has tremendous combat value. He does all his attacks, and there's very nice. So you have his ranged attacks too, where he swings his weapon around, where he throws it and it swings. That's the part I'm talking about. That's the part that I miss out a lot because I'm mainly just parrying the guy because he's just so much fun to parry. I mentioned earlier that I'm so glad that he appears so many times per playthrough because I can just fight that dude over and over. And it's a shame that people criticize repeat boss fights. I'm like, no, I love those. I love those repeat boss fights. Keep them coming. It's one of my favorite parts about Dark Souls 1 is that the Stray Demon appears twice. I don't have enough stone keys. What was my main reason being here? Oh yeah, that's okay. Hold on, I'll be right back. All right, sorry about that. You and I will simply never agree on this pairing and stance breaking art. No, no, I mean, what's no? That I meant that parrying and stance breaking is the character's combat value. You can apply that combat value to the boss's combat value the way the boss applies his its combat value with the player's combat value. I hope that makes sense because the character of yourself has combat value. Whatever attacks you are performing, you got your light attacks, heavy attacks. Though that's within yourself combat value. What is the value? How much value? That's one thing I haven't considered up until now. It's just how much value does your combat value have? Are you just pressing R1? Are you just like me? A lot of the times, my combat value is actually pretty thin. A lot of it's just jump attacks with the dual wield great hammers, and then parrying sometimes. I've been trying to increase my combat value lately by, like with Margit. I've been messing around with Margit a lot more with increasing my combat value by parrying, then using an R1, then one-handing R1, and using a Ash of War just so I can so my fights can also be on par with the bosses. Of course, stuff like Melania, I mean, you would have to get your build up to pretty high to match Melania's combat value, and that's what I meant. I'm not trying to reduce the way somebody plays, but it's just you got to consider the realistic value of something when you're just pressing R1. That's why people like to use generalizations as criticisms in terms of just pressing R1 to win, even though it's obviously a lot more than that. And the player dodges, the player, stuff, little tiny stuff like that. But if you just dodge and just press R1, then yeah, it's not going to look that interesting. And that's how I can understand why people watch some of my fights where, yeah, sometimes I'm just doing nothing but jump attacks. That's because I'm thinning out my combat value, and I really need to branch it out. Even though it's not necessary to defeat the boss, it's just it makes it look more valuable when you apply more variety to a boss fight, and that's something I've been wanting to do more often. There's a guy on Facebook that uses magic attacks in a wide variety. That is a very, very high combat valued player because of just how much he mixes it up. And I want to do that, but also keep in my playstyle preference because I don't like magic very much, but I am expanding to Ash of War because it doesn't compromise my playstyle preference. Because I don't want to use Ash of War that just takes too much time and then I'm going to take a hit, but I also need to figure out what is the appropriate attack from the boss to apply that. Where is the attack recovery animation appropriate? Where everything just complements each other, right? Where it becomes an art form. That dude on Facebook that applies magic attacks, that is art. What that dude has done is a complete art form because he is complementing the boss's combat value with his combat value. And it's something I never considered before until I saw that guy's videos. I'm like, that makes a lot of sense. For it, mixing up a variety just makes things look obviously more interesting instead of just pressing R1 or just L1 jump attacks all the time. And that's just one thing my mind has been changed on. I'm like, you know what, that's actually a great point. Just, it makes videos look significantly more interesting when there are constantly things changing in motion. And so that's just really a brief explanation on combat. I want to. I definitely want to go back and refine things in terms of how to approach combat value, but I need to get back on this before I talk about that for an hour. I'll end up talking 20 minutes on that. I'm trying my best not to inflate that as much as possible. What was I doing on here anyway? Oh yeah, I need stone keys. I need to wrap around and get the smithing stone 7. Wait, no wait, I can't do that. I gotta get the stone key first. How many? I don't have any ruins. I guess I need to go kill a bell-bearing hunter. Do I have all the medallions? Yes, I do. I do have all the bell bearings. I'll just go and... I need to get that talisman anyway. Grab the ritual sword talisman. And then make my way up to the Draconic Tree Sentinel. Well, I'm not going to go to the Draconic Tree Sentinel, but that side of Grace where that bell-bearing hunter is and get some ruins there. But I hope that makes sense with the whole combat value thing. I realize it's something that's not discussed much in Elden Ring because, of course, the majority of people want to just fight the boss and get it over with. So it's just something that's not mentioned. Plus, challengers that do get involved with the combat value conversation actually don't talk. They don't say anything. I can hardly get anything out of challengers. That's what's great about running into people like you, Wolf, because you do experience combat value and understand it and want to see more from the boss fights, but it's just hard to get a conversation out of people, especially on Facebook. Facebook is the place that you definitely can't get stuff like that out of people. They are too focused on brain rot. That's why whenever I post something, it's just not serious because I know I'm not going to get any serious conversations out of there. Even when I post those debates, I'm not expecting someone to come in with some good arguments. There's someone's going to come in, get mad, and then just say a bunch of stupid stuff and move on. There might be the occasion that someone comes in and actually has a good argument, but I just don't ever see that hardly, really at all. Even Reddit. Reddit might be a little bit better in terms of arguments, but most of the time people, whenever they try to argue, they have a point and then they dilute it to the point where it's just not a good argument anymore. It's so strange. It's so weird seeing it. And then, of course, they get to the point where they get so upset that they can't even articulate anymore. I had one guy tell me that I was manipulating him to make myself look correct. I'm like, what the heck are you talking about, dude? If you have a good point, just bring it up. I don't understand why you gotta think that I'm manipulating you in some way. I'm expressing a point. You rebuttal that point, and then if I find a way to rebuttal that point to where it's debunked, then another point needs to be addressed. Just same thing with the Morgott HP debate. Someone said, oh, well, we just need to bump it up to 20,000. I'm like, okay, well, people will just explore and research, and it won't even matter at that point. And then you also got to consider about the other boss fights. You need to bump them up too. It's the whole thing just becomes redundant, and then people get upset that that's a good point, and so they get mad. I'm like, Elden Ring, you make the decision to make the boss fights easier. The game doesn't force you to. You get to the boss fight, and most players realize, oh shoot, I am underleveled, I gotta go explore. That's their decision to make. And Morgott is the first mandatory boss that gets over 10,000 HP. Radahn's not over 10,000. Let's see, there's also value, especially in finding how to defeat boss. Yeah, and that's kind of where I'm at right now with Rune Level 2, is I'm getting bored fighting boss fights like that, because when you're at such a low level, you you're only really at one thing, one restriction, and the biggest downside about being at that lowest level is that your health is not going to be as high, your endurance is not going to be as high as you would want, and yeah, there's the gimmick is seeing how much you can get away with at that lowest level. But then again, you're also applying a lot of stuff where it's just, where does it even matter anymore? Pretty much the only thing that just doesn't matter, where it's actually a big challenge, is having the HP amount. Actually, a friend of mine, he wants to take on the Rune Level 1 challenge. And I told him, I was like, well, as long as you itemize properly, it'll feel like you're level 150. Except you just have a low health amount. You obviously you still can't get hit as much. You still need to have knowledge of how the boss fight works. And that's why it's really hard for me to kind of put myself into someone's shoes that's not as familiar with the boss fights as I am, to take on a Rune Level 2, because you do need to have a lot of knowledge for certain things. Got to know the stance break rhythm if you're going to go that route. You also parrying as well to apply, and simply evading attacks properly in general. And a lot of that stuff just takes a lot of practice, and I did a lot of that in 2022. I evaluated all the combat value for the boss fights, and it took a while. A lot of people don't have that time, so Rune Level 1 challenges can be very tough for people because they don't have that initial knowledge of the combat value, the full combat value. Whenever I defeated Melania for the third time with my Rune Level 55 build, I already knew how to defeat her. I knew what to apply in terms of aiding and punishing her. My first defeat for Melania wasn't that satisfying, and I think it was like, how long was that fight? 4 to 5 minutes? No, it was 6 minutes long. And it was mainly because I knew how to do certain things, but the second phase was the one I didn't have the most. It was the one I wasn't very familiar with in terms of evading, punishing actually. And then my second defeat, I was more comfortable with it. Then my third defeat, I was way more comfortable with how to punish her second phase. And it's a lot of time. It takes a lot of time, and sometimes I question about that time it takes to become more familiar with that boss fight. Is it worth it with that time? I guess after 3 years, I don't have that much time to play. There's some players that have a lot more time than I have, so they get to that status a lot faster than I could. And I can only play maybe several hours a day, if that, just so I can get to that master level. And that's why Shadow of the Erdtree is rather exhausting for me. Especially, it's been almost a year since it came out, and I'm only still very familiar with 3 boss fights, that being the Dancing Lion Romina and Consort Radahn, which is a boss I still haven't defeated without taking damage, but I just primarily meant most of his combat value is what I'm comfortable with. I'm still not comfortable with Mesmer, I'm still not comfortable with Bale. I still haven't fought. I've just finally started with Midra, and so it's not. I don't know how well I'm going to apply myself with that fight just yet. And I haven't fought that finger boss. I fought the dude on the hog, commander something, but I can't say that I can go in there and confidently beat him. I would have to evaluate him more. I just rushed in there. Renala, I'm not comfortable with Renala. It's just, you got so many boss fights that you have to master, and it just takes a lot of time. What did you say? That's why I stopped using a Dragon Hunter's Great Katana and started finding other ways to defeat. Oh. Yeah, I don't know. Dragon Hunter's great. I don't know anything about that weapon. What was wrong with it? Is it weak, or is the range bad for dragons? It also depends on what kind of dragon you're talking about. You got the flying dragons, ancient dragons, then just the main dragons. Most of the dragons are very weak against the piercing damage type. I don't know. Katanas should have piercing. Yeah, all the katana weapons are supposed to have piercing damage. But also, unless you're just talking about rune level 1, I don't know how well, I don't know how much the Dragon Hunter's Great Katana is compromised by rune level 1 status. Oh, come on. Ooh, wow. Ooh! I love the R2 charge attacks for this thing. Oh, it's extremely powerful. Okay. Have I used that weapon before? It sounds familiar. I just don't use katanas that much. I might have picked it up before. I don't remember exactly. You don't like overpowered? Um, Extremely effective. Where am I at now? Ooh, 414. Now, what was I main? Oh yeah, okay. I have enough. I have enough for two. Yeah, I understand the whole overused phrases. Sometimes I catch myself saying stuff that I'm like, people have said that a trillion times, and I'm over here saying, adding on to that number. But the bad thing is about using words that people don't often hear is that people get mad about that. I had one person on Facebook saying, you're using a bunch of fancy words that no one ever uses, and it makes you sound pretentious." I'm like, I'm just saying it because I just don't like using stuff that's been said so many times. Like the most common phrase used at work is, "Hey, are you working hard or hardly working?" I had a guy that would say that to me every single day. Like, dude, you can't come up with something different. But the funny thing is that if you do say something different, people get confused, don't understand you, and then don't hear you at all. That happens to me a lot. If I approach somebody and I word something differently than what they're used to hearing, they don't really get it, and then I have to go back to saying that phrase that's overused. It's a it's a, what's it called? It's just bittersweet. You're you're happy that you have a new way to phrase something, but then it's almost like you're speaking a whole different language, and then you can't communicate with your tribe. And then you get executed. What time is it? Beginning to be 11:30. Still, I have a good hour left. I really like this path because it really brings me to a lot of areas that I do love. Oh, I was about to say, where is he? Ooh. Oh. I probably won't use the Astral Ward with this weapon because it takes too long. I can't really think of a moment where I can actually use that and get out of the way in time. Maybe Commander Nile, but only because he rests for almost 30 seconds after he does his whirlwind attack. And that's the kind of the problem I have with a lot of Astral Wars is this a lot of them just take too long to do. Oh, jeez. The range that guy has. Alright, now I gotta go back to Caelid. Hmm. Remembering. Yep. I'm so thankful for that tower. There's Blake. I stayed on long enough for Blake to find me streaming. You know what? I totally missed the other one. I completely forgot. I was so focused on jumping down here. I was just having a really good discussion with Wolf here about combat value. No, not I'm not doing Apostle. I really hate that Apostle fight right there because the arena. The arena is so bad. The Apostle is also my least favorite god skin, just because how weird his attacks are. I would gladly fight Noble though. I just got finished fighting Noble. That is a great drop though. Uh, if I remember correctly, 90,000 ruins. I mean, he's just part of that really good Caelid lineup I mentioned months ago. And then you got the Bell-bearing Hunter up here, which is really good. Let me just walk over here.
Well, there's been a... How can I? Have a safe journey.
Yeah, his moves are just so funky looking. When I look at it, I'm like, I mean, there are a couple of attacks that are really good to punish, like his orb throw and his jump attack. Those are good. There is a very specific thing I have to do. I already forgot it, but there's something very specific I got to do in that fight in order to punish him properly. But his attack telegraphs, a lot of them I just do not care for reading, and he's definitely parry focused. Just like, well, Noble is not as parry focused as Apostle, but Apostle is definitely very parry focused, and his attack, like I said, his attacks are so wonky. It's really hard for me to read his attacks. Some people like Wolf, he's really good at reading his attacks and parrying. It's weird because I'm really bad about parrying thrust attacks, but the Noble's thrust attack just makes sense to me. And just that's the thing about certain bosses and their certain attacks is that some people click with them and some people don't. It's just how Apostle obviously I can attack Apostle, I can defeat Apostle with the punishes I have that I prefer to punish. But for his basic attacks, I'm pretty much just screwed because I'm not capable of parrying his basic attacks, so I have to rely on those specific attacks that are really good to punish, and then I also apply dice rolling sometimes. Right, exactly. Apostle, yeah, you've addressed that, Wolf, before, that a parry, that he is really difficult to parry, and that's where I'm at. I'm at the point where I'm like, it would make the Godskin duo fight significantly flow better if I just knew how to parry the Apostle, but something's not clicking there for me. Yeah, yeah, he is. I mean, I've done his fight without rolling, but that was just with a huge amount of space. Doing no roll for Apostle in that small tower, that's ridiculous. I don't. I mean, I'm sure it could be done with the right amount of proper positioning, but that's just giving me a headache thinking about. How do I want to? Yeah. Oh, I still can't one hand. What the heck? I thought I could. All right, timeout. Timeout. Okay, I should be able to get him in 3 minutes if I just stance and parry him enough. I could have swore that it's 34, right? Yeah, yeah, that's right because. Mm, oh heck, he came. No, not yet, not yet, not yet. 34, and I am at 20. Okay, I'm almost there. I mean, maybe killing him will get me up there. Oh, god dang it. I thought I... I'm bad about forgetting how many parries I have. Oh! I watched a guy try to beat that apostle severely under level, probably around level 50. He was trying to use a level 1 spirit to distract the apostle so he could shoot it with arrows. Ah! Have you tried that secret? No, I'm not really interested in it. And I don't really have a good explanation why. I just really like the precise pairing, like with what I'm doing here with this unofficial parry tool. Just I don't know. It just looks really boring to me. I mean, I guess I just need to try it and find out. Like I said, I don't really have a good explanation. I just don't really. It doesn't look that interesting to me. I'm glad they implemented it if it works properly and people enjoy it. But whenever I see it, I'm like, I just rather have precise pairing. Yeah, but I also got to go into the DLC for that, and I also got to kill one of the fire dudes. And how much do you have to do to even get to that point? I'm just wondering. So I don't know. I don't know if it's worth going through the trouble just to find out I don't like it. That's just kind of where I'm at. If I could just run up to something, pick it up, and try it out, but I don't know. Maybe one day, maybe in 10 years, I'll try it out. And I'm like, oh, Blake was right. It was amazing. Oh, heck, I didn't use my... God dang it. What's wrong with my memory this morning? And the same thing with bosses like Lich Dragon, Fortisax, and Melania. Yeah, I enjoy those fights, but it just takes so much work to get there. You just mentioned it right at the same time I mentioned it. But it just took so long for me to realize Millennium was so good. I don't know how I feel about that amount of time it takes to really appreciate a boss's design. Dragon Lord Persistag isn't as bad. At least he's on the main path. Oh, god dang it. I didn't realize I had another one. Oh, that was over with too quickly. So satisfying. Love that boss so much. I wish I could just... like I said before, I'm so glad they appear several times, but you only get one bell-bearing hunter and Kaelid. The other ones I had to reduce myself down so much. So I need only two. Where am I at? Where am I? 430. Ooh, good lord. Alright, almost at 500. What level am I at? 40? Just 40? What do I want to do next? I guess I can take on Radon now. Have I not activated that? I guess not. Oh, I haven't even upgraded my weapon all the way yet. Wonder how many times I can upgrade with that amount of souls. Ruins. Oh, okay, stops right there. Alright, so let's go on to Radon, I guess. Where do I want to start? I definitely agree with that. In kind of Waterfowl Dance is really a metaphor for how boss fights are designed and how long it takes to learn how they work, which is why it's such a controversial attack, because you got one boss that takes a while to master on top of an attack that also takes a while to master. That's not intuitive. I don't know why I don't need to collect this stuff. doing it anyway. Oh, yeah, I keep forgetting there's a store and sword key there. I'm just wondering how long it took someone. There's no way to really, as far as I know, I don't think there's anybody out there. I mean, there had to have been somebody out there to figure it out after a lot of trial and error on how to dodge it properly. And I'm not talking about the close range evasion where it makes you dizzy, or it makes me dizzy. I'm talking about the one where I'm just wondering what the developers were intending. That's just kind of the mystery of it. That would be a good mystery to bring. I want to make From Software Unsolved Mysteries, and that one would definitely be a good one. Just what was the developer's intention on how the players should evade that? And there are obviously different ways to evade it, where you can just bypass entirely by throwing a freezing pot at the telegraph. But I'm just wondering about the close range. Were they actually planning for players to do that? I just don't think so. And Elden Star is the way to actually fully evade that attack. I flat out deny that attack was actually intended to be evaded entirely. Because that glitch, what is that? Oh, that's a death bird. That's a deathrite bird. Also, I'd say, what the heck is that? Because the Elden Star's attack is such a ridiculous attack to put into a boss fight. Four Kings has a very similar attack, except the Elden Stars shoot stuff at you. But it's definitely a very curious part of Elden Ring. It's just, what was the intention there? Oh, how Waterfall Dance is a metaphor for how boss designs in general work. The end-game bosses, like how the Erdtree bosses, where it just takes so long to learn how they work. And so you got Waterfall Dance inside of a boss that also takes a long time to learn. So it's just a double whammy. I mean, imagine being somebody fighting Melania, then an attack happens, and you're also trying to learn how Melania works in general, and then you got this attack that's just so much within itself. I'm just wondering how that person. Imagine someone 20 years from now picking up Elden Ring and playing it, and they get to Melania, and they don't have any kind of connections whatsoever. The community's gone. Hopefully the community isn't gone, but how does that person figure that out? I mean, it's just the amount of trial and error is ridiculous for it. I might have to stop when I get Radon, if I get Radon. Sometimes it depends on what mood I'm in. I either get Radon really well or I don't.
The stars have aligned. The festival is nigh. General Radon, mightiest demigod of the shattering, awaits you.
Obviously don't need my shield here.
The festival.
Whatever you want to consider that thing. I guess it is a shield. Can I block with it? Can I No, I can't. Wait, I can't do anything right now. If you're a parry player, you're close to Millennium done the run. Yeah, exactly. Melania is probably going to be one of those bosses where I just don't think it's worth parrying. Because it takes 3 times, and during all that time I could have just punished her attacks. And she's got a lot of punish windows once you understand her drawbacks. It's just the parrying, I just feel... I don't know, it feels like a waste of time to me. I'm probably really wrong on that. But maybe it's just because I just don't like parrying her, because it's kind of similar to Apostle. And I don't think she's as bad as Apostle in terms of parrying. She's actually... I believe she's a lot more generous with her attack telegraphs. It's just... I also haven't attempted in about 2 years, so I'm really just kind of talking off without a whole lot to back myself up on. So you have to disable target lock, run around there. Right, exactly. That no, I and exactly, I agree, Wolf. That it cannot be intentional to dodge that way, and I hate. Every time I just hate looking at it whenever whenever I see someone dodge that way. I'm not saying you shouldn't. If that works for you, then definitely do it. It just looks so annoying to me whenever I see someone dodge that attack like that, the dodge waterfall dance that way. Maybe one day, maybe in a year or so, I'll eventually just start parrying her and be like, oh man, I was wrong. It happens to me a lot. Where I'm like, I'm gonna talk smack about this way, and then years later, I'm like, man, I was definitely wrong about that when I was talking. I'm like, huh, man, I sure did I put a whole lot of foot in my mouth on that statement. Like, I remember when I first started playing Elden Ring, I wanted to defeat all the bosses without jumping, and I was pretty successful up until Malekith, where I was like, okay, yeah, I think I need to start applying jump attacks, and now I just love doing it. Yeah, I love parrying too. I could love parrying a lot more, for sure. I just need to apply myself more with parrying because Sekiro. It's funny because I don't consider Sekiro having the best parrying in the game. It's not the most satisfying parrying, but it also got me into parrying, which I found very strange. How does a game with the least amount of parrying satisfaction cause me to enjoy parrying, to start doing it more in the From Software games? I think Bloodborne still has the best parrying, most satisfying parrying, because I seem to jump a lot more. I don't know if you noticed, but whenever I land a successful parry, my body jolts a little bit, and I love that sensation. And so whenever that happens, I'm feeling really good about that parry. Yeah, that's a shame. I used to be on that train of just not enjoying parrying in these games. I used to say stuff like, "Oh well, it's just not that satisfying, and it just takes too long, and it's not the point of it. It's not the time it takes. It's just the satisfaction of it. Of course, you can always just walk up to an enemy and slash it until it's no longer there." But nailing a parry, getting that timing down just right, it beats just pressing R1 a couple times. It just beats it because obviously you're applying a talent that you have learned through timing. It's like instead of shooting a target, you're actually moving a target that moves instead. Yeah, you can shoot a target that just sits still all day long, but when it starts moving, you got to apply another aspect of skill there instead of just aiming. Alright, let me get on, hold on. Okay, so I can, okay, so it disabled my stuff. I didn't realize it disabled my stuff before. Alright, so what am I doing? 525, whoa, 525, wow, good lord. Alright, let's see how well it works. Isn't that weird? Isn't that a funny feeling? Now, sometimes I will do that with a dodge, if that dodge is crazy. And, I also have a weird thing where my lip quivers. If I'm uncertain about a dodge, my lip will quiver a little bit because I have a feeling that I'm going to get hit. That's another weird one. It's weird how my body reacts to certain things in the game. That's why I just can't play other games hardly because Elden Ring is the From Software games. They're the only games that affect my body that way, and it causes me to get fully immersed with the whole thing. I definitely recommend jump attacks for Rune level 1. And if you want any itemization tips, just let me know. Alright. Also, I wouldn't like this fight if it wasn't for the arrow segment bypass. If I had to do that every single time, I wouldn't like this fight as much because I really hate doing that. Having to get on torrent and ride on the side for a minute or two, I just hate it. I would much rather have a run back, like a long, like a 2-minute long run back, than have to do the arrow segment. It's just so boring. Oh yeah, this is flowing really well right now. Woo, this is nice. This is the way I love to fight the flow out. Oh my god, I'm doing way too much damage. Jeez. He will not. I won't even get to see his fourth phase. Good lord. Yeah, I overpowered myself way too much for him. 525? I might as well use that as some rage bait on Facebook. Alright, what did I miss? I think with Sekiro wasn't learning a specific time. You're learning. And yeah, exactly. That's a good point. And the most satisfying part of Sekiro was the Makiri counters because I felt like those required better timing, even though not really. I feel like nailing those wasn't. I mean, it's just more about reading the telegraph, and it's just out of the rhythm. Yep, yep. Really, the whole boss fight is just boss fights in Sekiro. It's just it isn't. I don't know. Let me not say that because that doesn't make a whole lot of sense. But because I haven't played Sekiro in over a year, so I'm not gonna pretend that I'm fresh on Sekiro in terms of the satisfaction of the whole game. The only thing I can really say about Sekiro is that it's the closest to perfection From Software has come to a video game. There we go. Good in that department. It's going aim towards 1,000 on vigor. Well, dang, I didn't realize that fight was going to be over with so quickly. It's 12. I'm anticipating my wife to call me in roughly 20 minutes. No, 30 minutes, because she's got to talk. Go ahead and get my weapon up a couple, about to the end. I like this weapon though. This weapon is, I must say, I'm very impressed with how this weapon's turning out. I don't know how well it wouldn't work in Rune Level 2 though. That's the sad part. I would have to find a really good weapon, a really good great axe to use for Rune Level 2. That'll be my next goal maybe. For a Rune Level 2 run instead of just using dual wield. Because, I mean, you get so overpowered with dual wield great hammers that, two-handing a weapon shouldn't be a problem at all. I'm going to end up getting too... I'm already too powerful for Morgott. Too powerful. I'm probably going to be good for a Fire Giant, and this is definitely going to be a good weapon for the Godskin Duo, I think. The charge attack might be a little off. Might throw me off a little bit. What is the damage type? It's just standard. I can't remember what the damage negation was. Yes, I love the Makiri counters. I love grabbing those thrust attacks and jumping on top of their heads. Yes, very, very nice. I should be able to grab that third talisman now. Good lord, I'm so addicted to grabbing stuff that makes me overpowered. I need to cool it. Because as you can see, the Radon fight was just pitiful. I should have held myself back. But I didn't. It's weird. Well, I don't know. I think people complain about Starscourge Radon, but it seems like once you have knowledge of the boss fights, I mean, obviously they're just going to be shorter. And that's why you got to balance yourself out, because once you have more knowledge with the combat value of these boss fights, they're going to be shorter naturally. That's how it works in the other games. Should I go ahead? It should. The whole Moog thing. I can quit. Well, actually, I'll quit when my wife calls. That's what I'll do. I don't know. I don't really. I see. I don't like Ash of Wars that much because a lot of them. I mentioned earlier that a lot of them you don't really have a whole lot of time to recover unless there's something that speeds them up. That would be quite a talisman. Talisman speeds up the animation for Ash of Wars. Then I would definitely be after it. But it's just I just don't like the animation speed for a lot of them, which is why I just don't use. I mean, I use obviously Parry is technically Ash of War, and that's the one I use all the time because it doesn't. There's not a whole lot of recovery, to animation frames. Yeah, I would have to find 6 Ashes of War that doesn't take god awful long to accomplish. Um, yeah, go ahead and just continue on my vigor. I don't think that dude's gonna be there anymore, but I'm gonna try anyway. Yep, no, he's not there. Clench your teeth or something. I love that bear that's always there. Sometimes I hear him roar and get angry, but I never fight the thing. I just don't have a reason to. He doesn't drop anything. I wish the bears had. I need to find a way to make bears important in Elden Ring. Let me turn that into a challenge. Make bears important. Playthrough. I need to find out what they drop. Actually, okay, hold on. There is something bears can do, and that's break those statues for smithing stones. That's a way to make them important, but that's kind of more of intentional. It's not something I have to go out of my way for because it's just clearly there for the bears. I think I believe there's 2 moments where you can use a bear for that. You use the trolls for that, the bears, and the golems to break those statues. There might be another one like the crayfish might be used for something like that. Oh, that's right. I gotta kill that annoying invader. Can't stand that thing. Alright, I gotta go do that. The range with this weapon, it shouldn't be that much of a problem. Can you parry that? Can you parry that? The great stars weapon? I feel like you should be able to. I just don't know. I don't ever see anybody fighting that guy very much. Because I think a lot of people just PvP. Just letting you guys know if my wife calls, I'm just gonna end the stream there. So if that happens, goodbye. I'm just going to say goodbye, and I'll talk to you guys later. Yeah, I don't know if I'll be able to stream later tonight. Probably not. More than likely not. And then I will be on vacation, and I cannot wait to go. No Elden Ring for several days. I wonder how long I can last. No, I'll be fine because I'll be with the family. Being with the family is far more entertaining than Elden Ring. I think my family is the only thing that makes me forget Elden Ring exists. Hey, right over here is a weapon I love grabbing for rune level 2, and that's that Celebrant Skull. That Celebrant Skull is such an awesome weapon. It's one of my favorite weapons. It's just the range on it sucks, but it's so good for an early build or a low level build. I wish there was something more distinctive so I can just jump with confidence. I had to recognize rock formations. I had to become a rock enthusiast on Elden Ring in order to tell where those tombstone steps are. Ooh, squeaky chair, squeaky chair. Alright, now watch how bad I am at this guy. Ooh. Oh! Man, he still one-shots me. Oh well. I don't have to kill him. I just had to try 3 times. I wonder how much the Astral War affects this dude. Oh, heck. He dodged and that threw me off. Oh! Oh no! Oh! Oh, bugger. God, it's like my stamina is non-existent most of the time. Got close though. The Astral War seems to affect him pretty well, but I wonder what happened to the final attack though. I wonder what I have to do. Because I was tapping it, but it wasn't performing the last pound. Oh well. One more chance. Told you, I wasn't exaggerating when I told you I suck at this guy. I can do all kinds of stuff in Elden Ring, but when it comes to this dude, his combat value is too powerful. Ah. Oh, good lord. Alright, that's good enough for me. I really don't care. He's just really good. He is a lot better with a faster weapon. But obviously, I'm not using a fast weapon. I mean, I almost got him those first 2 attempts, but that third one is, oh yeah, it was a death sentence. Oh yeah, for sure. I mean, I mentioned several times, Red Wolf of Radagon, Sir Gideon Ofnir. I suck at those guys. I'm really bad at those dudes. And it's so funny seeing people like, oh, well, their health is so low. I'm like, yeah, but I'm not talking about their health amount. I'm talking about their combat value. And people are like, huh? I'm like, imagine having to fight Red Wolf Radagon for 10 minutes. If Red Wolf Radagon was a mandatory boss and I had to fight him for 5 or 10 minutes, I would probably would just beat the game once and never play it again. It's that bad. I don't know. I might no 5 10 minutes. Yeah, no. I just don't think I would be. I don't think I would get the. Yeah, I don't know. Thankfully, that's not a reality, and I don't have to think too hard on it. Oh yeah, back to what's his face. Wife should be calling me roughly 20 minutes. I don't know. She might surprise me. Maybe no one wants to talk to her, so she'll just leave early. Also, Renala. I don't like. I suck at fighting Renala too. Mesmer, Renala. There's actually a lot of bosses I'm really bad up against. Yeah, the binding attacks. I mean, there's. I think there's a very specific maneuver with Red Wolf or Radagon for sure. There are some spots where I noticed that there are some cracks in the combat value where I'm like, okay, well, I can get a good punish there if I just dodge at that specific moment. But then that another thing that's undeniable is that he gets caught in the arena that he's in. It doesn't make sense why they would design a boss like that for an arena so small and a moveset so expansive and so wide for such a small arena. Every fight, every time you fight the guy, every time you fight the thing, he gets caught on the design that he's in the arena design, and I just think it's poorly thought out. You can't convince me that was fully thought out for that boss. I don't understand. I don't understand why they put that thing in there. I mean, why give Renala such a big arena for projectiles and the movement she has? Imagine having to fight Renala in that same spot. It just wouldn't make sense. She would get caught in the area of the arena design the same way the Red Wolf of Radagon does, and Red Wolf of Radagon's faster. Mm, just be glad that Consort Radon has the arena that he's in. I understand that it's uneven and it can mess up dodging and evasion, whatever. But imagine having to fight him in a small little place like that. I mean, obviously it'd be quite impossible because of certain AOE attacks, but
Please.
I might try to stay up tonight just so I can finish this playthrough because I really want to. I'm getting a lot of the tedious stuff out of the way. I can't wait to fight. I can't wait to get to the. Oh, you know I love the fire giant, but I don't have time to fight him for this stream. Maybe I'll just stream later just so I can fight the fire giant on stream, just so I can show people how much I love that fight. And so far, I'm loving this weapon.
And with this a night now, this
I gotta get my dose of fire giant. What rage bait title should I use for the Star Scourge Radon kill? What do you think? It's not hard to really get people. I just don't want it to be obvious, like, oh yeah, Radon is so easy. I don't want that. I don't want it to be that simple. It's got to be something that seems genuine, as if someone's coming on there and actually being confused. You gotta put yourself in the mind of someone that has no idea what they're talking about. Maybe something like I didn't know you could fight Consort Radon this early. I don't know. That might be too obvious of a bait. You got to be very careful. I mean, that's pretty much the hardest thing to do is just make sure that it's not obviously fake. Now, you have some people, they'll put down, they'll just go ahead and put down, oh, this is bait, just because that's the only thing that comes to their mind. I bet they probably put that down for every post, so you're going to have people like that always. But most people will fall for it if it's good enough. I wonder how much I would hold up with Moog at this point. Oh, get out of my way. I love this area, and I have not spent any time in it other than this. I love how dark it is. It's like another Tomb Giants we haven't received in a very long time. Oh, come on, let me at least... Ah, there we go. Oh, I didn't even know that was there. Oh, shoot! I didn't expect you to follow through. That was so cool. He ended up winning that, but I'd never had that happen before. That's a first. That dude was so dedicated to get me, he actually managed to make it onto the lift. That was beautiful. From this angle, it looks like the platform I'm on is going up. I just want to see how much damage I can do to Moog this early. Because 635, I mean, let's just see. I'm not going to make too many attempts. I at least get him started. I didn't let go soon enough. Yeah, that's kind of a... I don't know, that doesn't really represent how much damage I can do. I think that was kind of a more of an edge clip. Let me try it one more. Get a better shot. Okay, that's... well, it's not too bad. Oh, God, I hate that attack. Ah! Okay, well, actually, my damage output is not that bad. Hello, Rocky Man 1701. Welcome. Oh, am I getting away from the camera? Alright. That damage is pretty good. If I put a lot more effort into it, I could definitely make it viable. It would, the first phase wise, there's not the combat value for the first phase isn't really a ton, but the second phase definitely would be expressed more. But I would have to get kind of more. I would have to get used to the animation recovery for the R2 charge because with dual wielding great hammers, I can get 2 jump attacks in before he takes off after the knee heal stuff. So that will definitely take some time to adapt with this weapon specifically. So I'm going to come back later. I got what I wanted, so. Go ahead and get that one last little upgrade. Wife hasn't called yet, but at least I was able to get that done before she called. And there we go. Now we shall head to the the capital. I really need a two-hand more often because I really am enjoying this. Maybe I should forbid myself from doing dual-wield great hammers for a while. Because a lot of people think that's all I can do is just dual-wield great hammers. No, the reason why I do that is because I enjoy it a lot. That's why. It's not because I can only play that way. Can I cut through there by going this way? I can't remember if I could or not. I don't think I can. Well, maybe I can. Let me see. Never tried it before. I don't think. Okay, yeah, you can cut through most of it. You don't have to worry about the the arrows. I don't know why I haven't done that before. Cool. Yeah, I guess I'm doing something new for adding that to my playthrough habits. It's nice not having to worry about getting the smithing stone bell bearings. Go ahead and defeat the other bell bearing because it's fun. Yeah, I'm probably going to end up... What? Alright, how about a guessing game? How many hits do you think it will take to kill the bell bearing hunter at 622 AP? You gotta think about, I got talismans, I got the charge attack talisman, the critical attack talisman, and also, well, you already see the effect of the ritual blood sword effect. What do you think, 5, 6 hits? Now that's considering the initial pair, every single hit is, when I say hits, I mean every single hit that counts. Even in a parry animation where you hit the boss twice, that doesn't count as one hit, that is 2. That's even hard for me to guess. I'm gonna be safe and say 6, even though it might be, watch it just end up being 3. Because this one's not, it's not a strong bell bearing hunter. It's not, is it? I mean, I killed, for reference, well, that was quite a while back, but I killed the bell bearing hunter in Caelid in probably, what, less than 2 minutes? So it's actually really hard to say. I don't know the exact HP amount for this bell bearing. I just know he's probably about the same as the one in Limgrave. Alright, fine. Oh, alright, fine. I'm getting hungry. I'm ready for some pork chops. I'm gonna talk to this guy first. I hate that I gotta talk to these dudes before I fight the thing. Can't they be somewhere else? Okay, wait, he doesn't talk that long. I'm gonna stick with 6 hits. And I'm not gonna use my wondrous physique. Nope, what? 2? Yeah, no, it's not 6. Yeah, I'm not even gonna, yeah, it's a lot more than 6. Oh, bugger. Oh, he got me. Oh. See, I don't know what happened with me there. I think I was starting to think about it. I was thinking about the calculations, and it made me forget how many successful parries I had. Blame the math. So he is a little tough. He's actually a lot tougher than the one in Limgrave. I was wrong about that. Sorry. Oh God! I'm so sorry. Oh my goodness! I have never done that before. Hopefully that dude forgives me. There we go. Oh wow, that dude drops a lot more than I remember. 20,000? That's pretty good. I'll have to keep that in consideration. That will definitely help out a lot with a lot of early stuff. Yeah. I think I could apply the bell bearing hunters to a lot on my playthroughs, especially when it comes to speed runs. Because I can get to Atlas Plateau pretty quickly, and if I knock him out, I can do a lot of fun stuff. Watch my wife call me in the middle of fighting Draconic Tree Sentinel. If the mic goes mute and you see me still talking, I'm probably talking to my wife while I'm fighting the Draconic Tree Sentinel. She loves calling at the worst time. Dang, even the Draconic Tree Sentinel was not bad that time. I'm glad I was wrong about this weapon. It's actually really good. The Dragon Great Claws is a weapon I would love to try out, but you get it so late. Apply some light. Wait, can you apply lightning to that? Maybe not. My wife might call me on the way here instead of leaving. Instead, right when she leaves, she might call me when she's about 5 minutes away. Oh, that was good. That was a good back crack. Alright, can I make it to the Golden Shade Godfrey before my wife calls? Oh, bugger. What is this? Oh. Oh, Lord. What is this right here? Oh, I didn't know that was there. Did I know that was there? How much does that... I'll wear that. That looks funny. I don't think I've worn that before. Yep, the wife hasn't called yet, so I'm going to keep streaming. I gotta sit up because my back was giving me problems more than usual. Well, no. I gotta constantly pop my joints because it just relieves the constant soreness of leaning over and gaming. There we go. This old squeaky chair I got from a cheap dining set at a thrift store. I need to put oil on it. Oh yeah, I love fighting the Stray Demon inspired enemies. The Erdtree avatars, they're brilliant. I love how it has evolved since the Vanguard from Demon Souls. Just beautiful. And I love how learning how to fight them even more so when it comes to their rotten variants, where you have to dodge behind them to avoid the Scarlet Rot splash. It's definitely one of the most underrated bosses in the game. People bash them for popping up so many times, but I'm like, please, I want more of them. Actually, I don't ever fight all of them in one playthrough. There's actually probably the appropriate amount. But if you love that boss design, you get plenty of it in one playthrough of Elden Ring. I would love a dedicated playthrough just to defeat all of them because I have not done that yet. I have not defeated all the stray demons yet. And it's also funny seeing how people want a boss selection list, and I agree there should be one, but I'm like, well, for a lot of bosses, you can fight them multiple times. There it is. I wonder what I did. What is that? Oh, I don't know why I picked that up. I don't know. I actually don't. I guess that's for crafting. Hate that I gotta cover her pretty face with that thing, but it's just. Like, I look like the. What does that look like? The green head dudes? No, they have a mustache. There's something. It's not. I don't want to say the Rob Zombie Dracula music video. Maybe that's it. Maybe that's just. It looks less menacing. Should just splurge and get a gaming. Yeah. I need to get something better. That's better on my back, and also not a. I'm almost fallen in this thing several times because it's just how unbalanced it is. I can't lean too far back into it. I always defeat every boss on the. Oh, nice. Yeah, I wish I could. I would love to do that. I just get so distracted with other ideas for a playthrough that I'd end up not finishing one. Oh, bugger. Oh! Oh, that's it. Okay, I didn't realize I was going to do that much damage. I keep forgetting that that critical attack talisman is incredible. I thought about getting a game. They are overpriced, and you got to be careful. I'm not going to spend. I'm pretty good about finding things under $100. If anything, I'll find one at an antique store. Actually, I found one laying outside, but obviously I'm not going to grab that one. I don't want to get the typical looking gaming chair. I want it to look unique. I want it to be like I want maybe a throne chair with some wheels on it. It looks amazing, but you can just roll it around. Maybe lock the wheels. I don't know. I've used this chair for 5 years now for this, and maybe it's about time to look for one. It's just not a priority right now. Oh, went over. Actually, let's do endurance. Dang. I would have been fine just staying at 55, really. Over 150 seems way too high now. Finish is just now starting to crack. Huh? Finish. Oh, I got one for $100 on Wayfair. This last one. Well, it's got personality then. If it's got cracks in its personality. An experienced chair. What time is it? I'm at, oh man, over 3 hours. Jeez, I wish I could stream this long more often. I just can't stay up too long at night. I get so sleepy. I'm like, I think I would rather sleep and be able to do my job when I get to work. Alright, let's see how much fun this goes. Woo! Now that's a cool actual war attack. I wouldn't use that on a boss, but it's really good for stuff like that. Alright, I'll take that helmet off. I don't like it anymore. I gotta see her face. There you go, look at that face. Why would you want to hide that face? Oh, I don't have enough. I do not have enough. I'm only good for 4 hours in a stream, and then I get tired, unfocused, and sore all over. I don't know how. I don't know what my limit is. I just know at 3 o'clock in the morning I get scared, and then I have to stop. 3 o'clock is really spooky. My mind wants to imagine things outside the windows and ghosts, and so I'm like, I'm gonna go to bed because it's getting spooky. I remember one time I was fighting Simone Ornstein and I just couldn't focus because I was so scared of my brain. My brain comes up with horrifying things when I'm alone. Yeah, 4 hours is good. And I'm a little over 3 now. All right, now for one of my favorite bosses in the game, Morgott. Ooh, okay. I was thinking maybe that was a good punish opportunity, but oh, he didn't do the thing. He didn't do what I was hoping he would do. Sometimes he doesn't. It is rare. Most of the time he has a parry opportunity. I just wish the follow-up had that attack that's really good to punish. Oh! I underestimate his reach a lot. Watch the parry cause him to... Yep, I had a feeling that was going to happen. I hate that. Ooh.
Stained by my curse, such
Oh. His stance must have recovered. I really want to restart because I want to go for no damage, but I'm not really concerned about that right now. Ooh! That attack still catches me off guard. I might get a chance actually to restart. Nope, nope. I think it's over. Yep. Dang it, I wanted to restart. I should have. Because that was really sloppy. I'm usually a lot cleaner than that. It's funny, I don't parry him in the second phase. I love parrying in the first phase, but I just don't do it in the second phase. I think it's because maybe the fight just speeds up more. I don't know. It's really hard not to focus on wanting to restart and do no damage, but I'm like, I just don't want to focus on that right now. Yeah, that boss, yeah, Morgott's so good. I never get bored of that fight. It's just so incredibly thrilling and engaging.
Old friend, allow me, you are unable to enter the Erd Tree.
I'm always critical myself. That's how I always have to aim for perfection.
The only way and become my purpose, so I'd like you to the flame then and guide you.
Now for the most boring part of the game. Man, it's almost 1 o'clock. My wife still hasn't called me. She might have texted me, actually. I think this is what this is. Yep. Alright. Let's get endurance up. Because I really don't want to level up my attack anymore. my AP. 63. I feel like I'm a lot higher than that. What talisman am I missing? X element of ritual. What is the other one? Is it just the jump attack talisman? I feel like there was another talisman that I mean, I really don't need another talisman. I just, for fun, I mean, I can go grab one, but I can't think of one that I desperately need. Can never remember which one it is. Which. No, that's not it. Dang it, I was right. West Rampart. Rampart. Wait, no, this isn't it either. What the heck? Where the heck is this place? I think this is it. It looks like it should be in a different spot, but it's not. Okay. When I forgot False-Star Beef. Yeah, but I do that way too often. My wife is always saying, "I thought you defeated that boss already." I'm like, "I've defeated this boss 30 times. I just got to do it the right way." Yeah, she said that when I was fighting Melania. She's like, "I thought you already defeated her." I'm like, "Yep, I have. This is gonna be the third time. I haven't actually. I mean, of course, I haven't defeated Melania 30 times, but she's just. I guess she doesn't get it. She doesn't understand why I must perfect the fight." I was fighting Margaret for probably 3 hours yesterday, just trying to get the right variety of combat value in for myself, just because I just wanted to do it that way. It's the reason why I just can't play other video games, because they just they don't engage myself. They don't engage me the way the From Software games do. Ultimately, Elden Ring. Because, I mean, what other game can you apply yourself like this in? The freedom of exploration, the freedom of gameplay. And it's funny how a lot of games promote freedom of gameplay, but there's very little freedom of gameplay. You have to play exactly the way the developers want you to, or you can't do it at all. You know, I was playing Grand Theft Auto 5 yesterday just to maybe get a little hype for Grand Theft Auto 6 next year, and you know, I'm playing it, and I'm just not really getting a whole lot I can do in terms of changing things up. I gotta do it basically the same way. Of course, there are different paths you can take, but how well is the game going to work if I just want to use a handgun? I can't just use a knife. The game doesn't work that way. That's just little things like that. Just doesn't apply well for other games. You know, what if I wanted to go through the whole game just by punching my way through in Grand Theft Auto 5? I can't do that. The game forces me to use weapons. They force me to use guns. What if I wanted to walk? Oh, no, can't do that. But I understand from a design standpoint, but if they really truly wanted to have freedom in their games, they would design it to where you could do stuff like that. But no, you know, whenever you have a mission with an NPC, they're already in the car. You can't force them to get out and walk with you. That would be so cool if you could. And perhaps that's just me being too harsh on video games now, but that's just how I feel whenever I play a game and there's just nothing else to do other than their way. It's like, nope, you got a slow walk for 30 minutes, and then you can have a sword. Or a gun, whatever. And then you gotta swing the sword the way we want you to. You gotta follow this NPC. Gotta talk to this NPC for 30 minutes. I'm like, when do I get to play the game? So this is playing the game. Yeah, you're right. And it's not like Grand Theft Auto 4 and San Andreas is much different. You don't really get the. I do feel, and I don't, no, I'm not gonna say that because I don't play those games enough to say that with confidence in terms of freedom of gameplay. I really do hope 6 allows more player freedom than what we've seen in the past. I really hope so. But judging from the trailer, doesn't appear to be that way. And that's not really, oh heck. I decided to come here at night. But either way, I hope Grand Theft Auto 6 is fun, at least for the first playthrough. If It's really hard to enjoy a Grand Theft Auto game on the second playthrough, it really is. Unless you haven't played it in so long, you forgot the missions. But I've forgotten most of Grand Theft Auto 5 at this point. It's just the missions are not that fun. I played Grand Theft Auto 5 for maybe about an hour the other day, and I got to a point where I was like, I'm not really having fun with any of this. I don't even know how I kept my attention back in 2013 with it. I mean, Dark Souls was out. There was no Dark Souls 2 yet. I was in between in between From Software games. So something back then kept me engaged, but now whenever I try to play it, I just nothing engages me to stick with it. People keep telling me to try First Berserker, but I don't know. I look at it and I'm like, level design looks so bad. I'll end up buying that game and just get bored of the level design and stop playing it. Then it's just another game on my shelf that I spent $50 on. I'm sure I don't even know if I can get it for $50, but still, it's just I got to be very careful about how I just buy games now. I just don't want to throw money at something. I mean, as much as I love collecting, for sure, I love seeing video games on my shelf, but I also don't like seeing video games up there that I'm not gonna play. I mean, Mortal Kombat 11, I have that up there. I don't play that. I played it maybe once or twice. I don't. I'm not. I suck at fighting games. I only bought it because I don't know. I really don't know why I bought Mortal Kombat 11. It's a mystery to me. I got Neo 1 and 2. I never played those. I haven't even played Resident Evil 3 or 6 enough for it to matter. It's I need to be pickier because that's $50, $50 to $70 I could have spent going out with my family and spending money on a restaurant. That would have been a lot more fun than that game. And that's kind of the way I process it. Well, it's not kind of this. It is the way I process it. Spending time with my family or a game I just will not play. She might not even call me until she gets here. Which should be, if she didn't talk, should be about right this time. Which would be a good place to stop. I usually stop at this part of the game in Elden Ring because of just how much of a jump it is in terms of scaling. Well, in terms of just the Fire Giant alone, Fire Giant and Godskin Duo, really the rest of the game, I'm good. My AP for the rest of the game is solid. It's just it matters with the, actually, I mean, of course I don't mind fighting the Fire Giant for very long. It's just the Godskin Duo, I don't want their fight being too long. Even though I really enjoy the fight, I don't know if I feel like being bothered with how chaotic it is right now. It is nice now having, that's the great thing about Somber Smithing Stones is that I don't have to worry about getting regular smithing stones, and that shaves off a lot of time. So that might be beneficial for a personal record. It's just going for two-handing a weapon, and just upgrading it all the way with summer smithing stones, and just progressing with the rest of the game. That might just be it. Because getting your weapons upgraded all the way with smithing stones, that's a lot of work. That adds on a lot of time. I need to see the difference, the time difference between getting a weapon all the way upgraded with the smithing stones and the summer smithing stones. I wonder what the total difference is. Save this dragon for later. See how long it takes just to get to the next mandatory boss? I'm only halfway there, really. Maybe a little over halfway. About halfway. I always call that the midway point, but wait, are those tombstones? Oh my goodness, how have I not noticed this before? Oh, wow. I mean, it's not that many, but that's still good if you, how much does that drop? Well, I don't need to look at it now because these dogs up here, but... Oh, God. So, the scariest part of a playthrough is that moment right there. I would not be surprised if upgrading season to last game. Yeah. I mean, the somber smithing stones, grabbing those is incredibly generous. Now, the problem comes when you want to dual wield, or you want to upgrade another weapon. That might be a little bit more problematic. It depends on actually where the bell bearing. Actually, I couldn't tell you where all the bell bearings are for the smithing stones. I know where one is, and that's after the. Where is that? I know it's in the crumbling Azula. I think it's at the beginning somewhere. Right, exactly. And that is good that they encourage exploration for sure. It depends on what point you're adding on, though. What's the nature of the open worlds? What point are you addressing exactly? So I can address exactly what you're talking about. I'm trying to remember what I said earlier for you to say that. I love that moment. That's just it's such a cool moment in the game. That giant hand smashes that bird. Oh yes, and it's a shame that people bash the open world aspect of Elden Ring. It's so funny seeing people saying that the a lot of the areas are empty, and I agree to a certain extent, but it's the most I've seen packed into an open world. No other open world has come close to the amount of content I've seen in Elden Ring. damage isn't too spectacular here. Ah. It's not too bad. It's not like 5-10 minutes worthy, but whew. Oh, I wasn't sure what he was doing. He does that little vertical slam sometimes. Oh, come on, another one? Oh, I can't believe I screwed that up. Oh, yeah. I definitely think it definitely could have been a lot better in terms of length. Or at least added some more mandatory boss fights where it wouldn't feel as long. Oh my goodness, I didn't know he did. I wasn't paying attention, I was reading. Yeah, I mean, that's one I had to think on a little bit more about what it could have done, but I really do think they should have thrown in a couple more mandatory boss fights just to make it seem less tedious getting there. Like, maybe between Godric and maybe have a really good mandatory boss, and I don't know. You would have to reconstruct a lot. Yeah, exactly. But you don't have anything mandatory, and you could just come up with stuff like I was saying earlier. It's just finding stuff that's important for your playthrough to make things, obviously better for your build. But there are moments that are still very tedious on how to get there. Like I said, Morgat to the Fire Giant is really, really unfortunate, and the dragon on the freezing lake does make that better, but it's still such a long fight. But it is great for a mid section of that traversal to the Fire Giant for sure. It's just I don't think there's really a whole lot I can add on the way there that would make it interesting. And you could just simply take breaks or do side objectives. Sure, the break up how tedious that traverse is to get there, but is it a good argument is, obviously I'm going straight there. I'm applying no exploration from Morgat the Fire Giant. So the argument is, do I find things to do to break that up, or do I just simply take a break? It's more about, I want to get there as fast as I can. And I already have everything I need. I don't need anything else. So there's really no reason for me to stop between the traversal between Morgat and the Fire Giant. And that's mainly the problem I have. There's not a whole lot of importance on my way there. If that's kind of the best way I can really articulate it, is that the position I'm in from going from Morgat the Fire Giant, there's just not a whole lot of value for me. And maybe I can find something. Maybe there's something there that I'm just not seeing, but most of the time there's just nothing there, and therefore I get discouraged a lot on a lot of my playthroughs. So I don't like Estelle. I don't like that boss. Yeah, exactly. An expert on every boss. That is where I find a lot of the satisfaction. But also, finding the finding very interesting ways to traverse in between those fights is very interesting to me as well. Adding platforming sections, and the level design in the Mountaintops of Giants isn't very good. Limgrave is great. Caelid is great. I don't think I ever get bored traversing through Caelid because I feel like there's a threat around every corner. But Mountaintops of the Giants is just a whole lot of nothing. There are, like I mentioned before, those giant dogs is one of the scariest parts of the game, and that's very thrilling. But you don't really get a whole lot of moments like that on the way there. A lot of it's just you trotting along, and everything just scripts out like a theme park ride. The part where the golem is shooting the arrows at you on the bridge, all you gotta do is just keep going and then drop down on the right side at the right moment. As long as you don't stop, you'll be fine. That part is not risky enough. There's not a whole lot of engagement there. And then after that, you got the freezing lake, and that's basically the same idea. You just, as long as you just keep going, nothing bad's going to happen to you. That dragon doesn't pursue you aggressively enough for it to matter. And you do have to properly think of, you have to actually put in some thought with those dogs, because if you hesitate or move incorrectly, they are going to attack you and possibly defeat you. But then after that, once again, all you gotta do is just keep moving, and nothing bothers you. And that's why Mountaintops of Giants is just not that interesting to me in terms of just navigating it. Now, Caelid, I had to be careful pretty much almost every single step of the way there, because you got to think about the birds, you got to think about the dogs, you got very aggressive enemies that are going to affect you if you get too close to them, and a lot of them, they will catch up with you. Limgrave wise, there's just so much content in Limgrave that matters. A lot of Limgrave and Learning of the Lakes, there's just so much in terms of exploration and items that you need, and even Caelid as well. But there's nothing I need. I don't think there's not really a whole lot of players that need anything in Mountaintops of the Giants. I'm trying to think about something just so I can give it something, but I can't think of anything. If anything at all, for Mountaintops of the Giants is one of the bell bearings for smithing stones, and that's one of the things I do pick up. But that's so early in Mountaintops of the Giants, it almost doesn't even matter. And another thing, okay, I'm thinking about another thing, and that's just in terms of upgrades. I can't think of any talismans I need. There is the crystal tier in order to receive damage from the Elden Stars attack, but I don't even do that anymore. I just stagger out of the Elden Stars. Oh, there she is. Well, that rings for just a little bit. I appreciate the discussion. This was great. I want to continue this discussion later because this is definitely very nice, because I don't get this very often. I'll definitely talk to you guys later, and I hope you have a great day.